What up, homie? It's Matthew, and I'm the host of Learn From People Who Lived It. Every Monday, we drop a new episode. I shouldn't say every Monday. Every other Monday, we drop a new episode. And then every other Monday, we drop a quick hit. And that's what you're experiencing right now. The goal for me was to come up with 5 minutes from the latest podcast to say to you, like, look, if you only had 5 minutes to listen to our podcast, this is what I would want you to know. And this past week, we sat down with Cynthia Elliott, aka Shaman Isis, and I'm going to admit, as soon as I had heard that her name was Shaman Isis, I didn't know about the goddess, and so I was very happy that she explained that to me. And really, it was an incredible interview that we had with her, and I'm going to read this quote. It was something that she shared in the podcast. She said, "The thing we so often run from, our mistakes, our quirks, our weirdness, is the most fabulous part of who we are. And we spend so much of our lives masking ourselves to show up into this world as what we think is acceptable." And that quote made me think of a story. I was in San Diego for a microdosing retreat a couple of months ago, and I was up on a hill overlooking this huge valley. And while I was overlooking this huge valley, it was nothing but green trees, except for this one little space in the middle where it was brown. And it was weird. It almost seemed like perfectly carved out in the mountain. And while I was looking at the mountain, I kept getting really fixated on this brown spot in the middle of it all. And, because I was microdosing and experiencing some mild psychedelic effects, it came to me in this dream, in this vision, that's how I look at my life sometimes. And maybe more than sometimes. I look at myself amongst the sea of green trees that look beautiful, and I see myself as this ugly little brown patch that's in the middle. And I don't know, maybe you're the same way sometimes, not all the time. And you resonate with this thought, which is, then it came to me, as Cynthia said so beautifully, it said, yeah, but that's the only interesting part of this mountain. That's the only interesting part out here in a sea of greenness. There's this one little perfectly carved out brown spot. And that's what makes the hill interesting. And so I would say the same thing to you. Now, let's jump into a couple of my favorite moments from the Cynthia Elliott episode, aka Shaman Isis. Here's number 3.
Our quirks, our weirdness is the most fabulous part of who we are. And we spend so much of our lives masking ourselves to show up in this world as what we think is acceptable, that we don't fully vest in the version of us that is actually the most fabulous, and that's our most natural, authentic self. It is the highest vibration, authenticity. People think it's love, but it's authenticity.
She's good. Here's number 2.
One of the challenges here is that people have to actually be in enough pain to be willing to change, and you cannot tell someone who has not reached that pain threshold that here's the way. So like if somebody's not ready for change, one of the first things I ask people to do is to drink water. And if they can't drink water, then I know we're going to have a real hard time changing their life.
I'm telling you, you're going to want to go listen to this episode if you haven't yet. And here is my favorite episode, or my favorite moment from the episode. What is the foundation they need to build for mental fitness?
The foundation, that's actually a really good question. No one's ever asked me that before. The foundation is to understand that your mental fitness is no different than your physical fitness, that we all have physical fitness the same way we have mental fitness, and there shouldn't be any dishonor in having conversation about we don't shame people for getting a cold, but in our society, we still shame people for having challenges with their mental fitness. And that's often based in the experience that they've had. Understanding that is how you need to really look at your mental health, and that it's not supposed to be something that's about being shamed. It's not about you being weak. It's about you learning to deal with the life that you were handed, and having that commitment to yourself that you're going to treat your mental fitness with the same exuberance and commitment that you do with your physical health. I mean, our society really is designed around a focus on physical health, but we won't do the same for our mental health, which is really stupid when you think about it, because our physical health is very much tied to our mental health. I mean, we make ourselves physically ill when our mental health is not good. That happened to me. And so knowing that's the kind of commitment that you can have, and if you treat it that same way, that you can actually change your life experience, I think that's the most important thing for people to know, that you can start over anytime you want.
What if the hardest thing that you ever went through was the best thing to ever happen to you? That's the kind of thinking we're trying to get into here on this podcast, Learn from People Who Lived It. And I'm so grateful to Cynthia Elliott, aka Shaman Isis, for coming on the show. Go check out her episode, and I will see you guys next time here on our channel. Peace.